let's open a $3,000 piece of fabric. But they sent it to me in 2 pieces, and I don't know why they did that. This comes from National Fiber Technology. And it's ordered by the square foot, not by the yard. All claims must be made within 24 hours after receipt of goods. So we need to look at it right now and make sure it's good. So we need to do this ever so tenderly. Yeah, that looks good. Want to see? Let's see. There it is. Grinch fabric. $52 a square foot. I got 53 square feet. Because we're making... Sorry. We're making the entire body. Arms, feet, hands. He's got his mask. Yes, it looks fantastic. All right. And this is why I didn't want to unroll anything, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it back on the roll the same way I got it off. All right, that one looks good. I'm going to put that aside. Now let's open this one. Ever so gently. Beautiful. All right. See how long it is? The length is 6 to 7 inches long. And this is the beauty. It stretches. It not only stretches, it's got a 4-way stretch. See, I just did that and I warped the fabric, okay? So that's the only demo of that you're gonna get. We need to keep it as straight and taut as we can until we are ready to make it. All right. Let's continue to look at it. I'm gonna have to spin it around so I have room to move it. But I wanted you guys to see it. According to the packing slip, we've got one small roll, one big roll. This is the big one. Yeah, that looks good. Well, we're going to get started on this right away because I just want to get this out of here now. Yeah. The hardest part about this is putting the scissors into the expensive fabric for the first time. You know, making that first cut is always the hardest. Alright, so my fabric looks great. I need to send an email off to the National Fiber Technology Company and let them know everything looks good. So we'll see you at the next step. Okay, here we are with the Grinch. What we're going to do next is we're making the fat suit. We got the fabric in, so this is going to be the first step underneath the costume. This is going to be a separate fat suit that goes under the costume, and it will have its own movement and stuff. We need to have a pee hole in it so he can go to the bathroom. coordinates with the keyhole in the fursuit. Sorry. So what I'm using to make this pattern is it's just a bodysuit pattern. This is gonna be the inner layer, and then we are gonna, I'm making my own pattern pieces to cut out and make the belly. He's gonna have some teats and a big old booty. So I'm using this just basic bodysuit pattern, and I'm not gonna put sleeves on it. It's gonna come up to the neck. I'm gonna have a nice soft little collar on it. It's gonna zip up the back to get in and out real easy, but it's also gonna have a snap closure to go to the bathroom. Tell me I have enough. I think I'm gonna have to move some pieces. Yeah, I think if I move this down, alright. This is why you should lay your pattern pieces out before you pin them down. Especially if you're working with just a little tiny piece of fabric. Alright, yeah, if I move this down, and this can fit, and I don't have to move that at all. Wonderful. Alright. I just realized that this is not a four-way stretch. So I want to cut these leg pieces where they stretch this way. That's why I repositioned the direction. I do still need to make a collar. Just a little wider. Maybe I can do that still and do some. Got two pieces here. Okay, now I got all my pieces. Let's get my green fabric laid out. And let's go do it all again. This too is stretchy. Okay, we're back. Change the camera angle, which gave me more table room, so. Okay, so starting from the waistline, we are gonna go out. That gives us two bulbous cheeks. It's going to give us that clap. So I'm not just totally drawing out of my head right here. I sketched out a couple of possibilities and ways to shape this. So I'm going by that. I want to match this curve. So what I'm going to do is when I cut this out, I'm going to lay it on top of here and match it. this connects with this, it's gonna make two boobies, two teeth. And it's okay that I got a little black marking on it. This is all gonna get covered with fur. You're not gonna see it. Alright. We've got our Grinchy Poo undersuit made, cut out. Hi. Alright, here we are. Very sorry I didn't show the whole sewing process of this, but we now have a fat suit. And I am essentially, I've tried it on, it wasn't working. The thighs were just way too big, and the butt wasn't big enough. So we're doing costume liposuction here, and we're removing some of the excess for padding that I had in the thighs, and I'm putting it in the butt. So here we are. You see my big luscious butt is forming. I'm just doing this to fluff up the foam. Okay. As you can see, this is the back of it. I've got it on a half mannequin right now, but it zips up the back. Stand it up real quick. We've got some teats. And the belly also I've made a little too big. So I'm going to do some take-in and bring this in. And we also had a bathroom hole. I'm going to put a couple... this one's not going to get snaps, but the costume itself will have snaps that will snap to the inside and you won't see. And the fur is so long. But see, we're getting some junk in the trunk. And he's got a nice big belly. But we are still lopsided, and I need some more bulk on this side, so. Making sure that we're symmetrical. We'll have to do the other side. Okay. So I put my first stitches there, and now I'm just stitching from here out to make sure this stays down. Smush down more. I mean, it makes the shape of the Grinch belly. It's just sitting a little high for my liking. That's working, that's working, that's working. Alright. I got my booty wide. I wish I could get just a little more roundness there. Oh my God, Becky. Then what I need to do after I get this good and stuffed is I need to come back with some stitches to make sure that that stuffing doesn't travel up the back, since I have such a big channel here. So now we got the fat suit for the Grinch. Ta-da! Nice and flat. Yeah. Yeah. I'm satisfied. Here we have, let's just get this over. So anything we do to this fur needs to be done to the back. As with all furs, the longer the pile, the more you want to start from the back. What I'm doing now, I'm making note of the nap of the fabric. The nap of the fabric is the direction that the fur is going, okay? All fabrics that have any kind of a pile have a nap. On furs, it's pretty obvious. Things like velvet, it just catches the light differently. Be sure your nap pieces are matching. So that means all these pieces need to be cut out in the same direction. This isn't my first Grinch. I've made one before. But this one is a little bigger than the one I've made before. So I'm using my pattern. And I lined this up earlier and I know I need to make this piece wider. I do have a little more room to go wider. As much as we spend on this fabric, I want to be sure making sure that my piece is centered. I'm just going to trace this because these lines will be easier to follow. Back end, I'm definitely going to have to make bigger, so we're going to save those pieces for later. Let's see. Back end. I'm just going to cut this piece out so I can scoot it up and finish sketching those legs out. Alright, so you're going to want to push your fabric, your scissors into the fur and get as close to the fabric itself. And that way you're not cutting the fur off. Much easier to get underneath that when you go against the grain too. $3,000 of fur. You see how it's cut. You can still see the fur hanging down. It didn't cut the fur off. It's a nice size scrap. Sending all these scraps along with the costume here just in case something happens and you need to patch it. Easily get it patched. And for as expensive as this stuff is, it's incredibly easy to work with. Like right now, it's real easy to see. It's so thin on the base layer. It's easy to see where my scissors are going. The belly of the beast. Talk about shedding. Okay, so front, that's going to go on the left leg, back way. Okay. down what goes where. We got the right back and the front left. Now we need the front right and the back left. This chunk away. I really wish they wouldn't have sent it to me in 2 pieces. That's gonna mess me up. Damn! Got this flipped over in the other direction that I had it in. Last time I had it print side up. So now we're going to do print side down, which gives me the opposite side of that leg. And I should have another back leg in here. I do. So the back leg I made was a right back. This one is left. That is how it needs to go left. Let me scooch this down just a wee bit. And then we can do this. Have the room because I need to widen the butt. This piece is longer than the last piece, so I have enough to do this. Alright, you guys, you get the picture. This is tedious work, cutting each single piece out by itself. Taking your time with each snip. Alright. We're sewing them together now. Okay. Once it stretches where it was cut, it kind of warps. So what we're doing is I am pushing the fur down where it's all at as much of a 90-degree angle from where I'm sewing as I can, because at those seams, if those hairs come straight out instead of at angles, it's all going to lay down more nicely. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to give them cowlicks. So I am sewing a leg to the back. Now I'm sewing it on the sewing machine right now just to get it all in there, but then I'm going to take every piece and put it on the serger and just seal the ends. And not only does it seal the end and keep it from raveling, but it makes it more comfortable. Because I'm not going to lie, this has a little bit of a, it's a little rough at the cut edge. Alright, so what I did on this edge, this is the back of it. So I put this casing on the edge of the fabric because, I mean, how's he going to get in it, you know? He's going to have this fat suit on. He's got to get this around the butt and then up over the arms. And there's no way I'm going to put a zipper on this. It's going to get caught up and tangled in the fur. So we're going to make this snap together. I'm going to put the snaps close so we don't have that. And I'm going to make it to where it snaps this way, where these two come together this way instead of an overlap. They come together this way. So that way when you see the back, that's what you're going to see. That's how we're going to do that. And then we're going to need to do a little piece like this in the front too to give him a P-flap. So, here's the leg I just sewed. And we got to So the other side. This fur is everywhere. I'm just covered in it. Just trying to find the edge is a task. You know what? Okay. The joys of working with fur. Everything's right before you even make that seam. So I'm also pulling this as I go, and I really should be making this with a zigzag stitch, but I'm using my Juki, which doesn't have it, so I'm just kind of scratching it. That way the seam has room to stretch. There is the back side of the Grinch. We got his arms together. Now we're going to sew his front legs on. So, anyway, we're just plugging along. See how I'm going to put the body together. Now I am putting snaps. So, got this little opening here that we made that's going up the back. It stops at the widest part of the butt, so he shouldn't have any trouble getting it on and getting around it. I've got these little baby snaps, little plastic snaps. I'm using green against this black so that there's a nice contrast and you can see what you're doing. And I'm not measuring, but I'm putting them really close so that when it pulls open on the other side, you don't see so much of that black line. I love these little snaps. You poke your hole, you put it through, you put your top to your bottom, male side, female side. Squeeze it. And now it's in there. And see, snaps won't get caught up in the fur. A zipper would, and then you just either end up tearing all the fur around the zipper, or you're going to jam the zipper and then need a replacement. And this is not exactly the kind of fabric you want to rip and redo and rip and redo. It's not very forgiving in that manner. You know, get it right the first time you sew it. I don't think I'm going to have enough of these bright lime green snaps. Not for as many as I intend on putting. I have some other greens that are bright. Alright, so that's what I'm doing. Snapping. Alright. That's a lot of snaps. Okay, so I've got the snaps on. I just put a casing on the neck. I'm going to put a little elastic there. We got the snaps on the pee hole here too. So you can unsnap this and get out of it. Okay. So I'm going to flip this around at the pee hole and show you how the snaps hold together on the outside and how you don't see the snap seam. Alright. So, now what I need to do is wrestle this onto a mannequin. It's time to try the fit. So that'll be fun. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, let's talk hands and feet. I have put one glove together so far. Let me show y'all what I started with. My original plan was to put the gloves on these, okay? They're costume gloves, and they have longer fingers, and they have little pieces of foam in here to hold the finger out. Okay, but, I mean, I'm a 5'3" woman. I'm not that big, and this is pretty snug on my hand, so I figured it was going to be pretty snug on his hand. So I ordered some more gloves. Again, not what I wanted, and so darn tiny. They just have cheap plastic fingernails glued to them. Alright. Third time's a charm. Found these. Gardening gloves. They're green. They stretch nice. They're gonna fit a man's hand. So, I pressed this flat on the fabric, and I cut this out. Made the fingers a little bit longer. And made that to where it'll wrap around there. So you're gonna sew the fingertips down, and then you put this. And I only put fabric on the tops because imagine how hard it would be to differentiate the fingers if there was fur all the way around them. So get that Grinch finger going on right there. Yeah, I wish I had some hairstylist thinning shears. That would work perfect right there. Yeah. So anyway, just gotta think of what this is gonna look like in conjunction with the end of the sleeve, which comes down long, so it'll overlap. And you have this big furry Grinch on. So I've got one more to do, and that'll be probably another 3-4 hours of hand stitching there. It's got to be hand stitched. You can't put it on the machine. Let's talk shoes. All right. Again, hand stitched it all on here. This was a regular shoe, like a Skechers slip-on type shoe. That came up a little higher than normal. So what I did is I wanted that toe to do that, and I wanted it to stay. Otherwise, they look like these big house slippers, these big fuzzy house slippers. So I used spray glue on it, and I'll probably put another coat or two, but it's getting cloudy. So the next coat that I do put on I'm going to take some hairs and add it to the top of it to brighten it back up again. And then what I also have for these, since they're going to be getting walked on and the shoes are probably going to take the biggest beating of the entire costume, is to have some waterproof, Scotch Guard waterproof sealant. So that's just good. I'm going to do that basically on the bottoms and then what comes up a little bit on the sides. So that'll seal the hair in a little more too and protect these shoes, keep them going a little bit longer and keep this nice Grinch shape. Walking into the next segment.
You are a foxy dog.